Okay, hey fam. So I'm off all media except for YouTube, specifically the Robert Glasper playlist, like that I've assembled, like their Brother Sons of Sands, the assignment. I got some stuff coming up, so I got to stay focused and I got to stay encouraged. And it's hard to be focused and encouraged, like with all the news stories and the images that come out, particularly concerning Black women. So what I'm doing is I am busy writing content to cultivate the palates so that more people know about the softness of Black girls and the compassion of Black women. So more to come on that. Stay tuned. Then something happens. Something happens that makes me know that everything is going to be all right. This weekend, Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock for making a joke at the expense of his wife. Dave Chappelle went through the ringer when folks were talking about he was punching down on trans women. But why is it that people feel like it's okay to punch down on Black women? Got a few thoughts. But first, a brief history lesson. In 1954, a Black woman sharecropper named Rosa Lee Ingram was having issues with her white male neighboring sharecropper. The problem was that he liked her and that she didn't like him. The problem was that he was a white man in the South and he felt like he's supposed to get whatever he wanted. So when he attempted to rape her, old boy fucked around and found out. 4 Black men came to Rosa Lee's defense. They were her sons. All of them were arrested, including the baby boy, who would eventually be let go, and all the charges against him were dropped. But everyone else was put on trial. They got their defense attorney the night before the trial. They faced a jury of 12 angry white men who I guess felt like it was the right of a white man to rape this Black woman, and everyone was just supposed to take it. I mean, that's what history has permitted. For many of us, our, quote, rape-colored skin bears witness to that. Now, that line is not mine. That belongs to the brilliant writers from the Showtime program Work in Progress. So, like, I love that line. I'm doing some more with that. Anyway, after a brief trial, Rosa Lee and her sons were sentenced to death. It was supposed to be a slam dunk case. 3 Black men killed a white man for forcing himself on a Black woman. How dare they? We can't have that. Fortunately for Rosa Lee, there were Black women of note who had access to resources and mainstream media mics who kept up the pressure on her case. Thank you, Lorraine Hansberry, Alice Childress, Nina Simone, and other members of the Sojourners Truth and Justice League. Now, tell me that don't sound like a superhero group. Okay? They used their access to media mics to keep up the pressure. They took trips down south to stage protests. They even went to the governor's mansion to chat with little dude, but his wife answered the door and said that he had gone hunting. They did all of this because it was important for them to exploit their access for a Black woman who was not resourced and who was expected to simply play the part that other Black women had done for centuries prior. Lay down and take it, sis. Now, although justice was delayed, it was not denied. Rosa Lee and her sons would eventually have their death sentences commuted to life in prison and then be freed from prison altogether. She died in Atlanta in 1980. So upon hearing the news story about Will Smith and Chris Rock, I immediately thought of Rosa Lee Ingram. And then I began to question, why is it that we don't have more people like Rosa Lee's sons and Will Smith standing up and slapping the shit out of more people who punch down on Black women? Here are my thoughts. First, people have become accustomed to Black women being so strong that we allegedly don't need anyone to defend us. 2, people have become accustomed to Black women being so strong that we can just take it. 3, people are accustomed to Black women being so strong that they assume no matter what happens to us, we will bounce back. 4, people assume that Black women are so spiritual that no matter what happens to us, we will take it to Jesus and everything will be all right. Now, as for Will Smith and Chris Rock, both of them going to be fine. In fact, as we speak right now, one of the other brother millionaires is hosting a gathering at his house. Brother's gonna work that shit out, so I'm not even worried about that. In fact, Netflix is probably right now about to produce another Chris Rock special. And his tour is about to sell out with all of the people wanting to hear how he comedically tells the story. How's he going to spend it? In other words, they're going to be fine. You know what? So will black women. But it feels good to know that we have brothers that will go to the mat for us. And even when they don't, we go to the mat for each other. Don't let nobody try to convince you otherwise. Everything's going to be all right, fam. Eventually. Until then, may the command to love lead us towards creative solutions. Ashe, Selah, so be it.